Yo, what's good, everybody? So, this is a different kind of video today. As you can see, I'm in my car. I'm getting ready to do Uber here shortly. I'm over here in Tampa, Florida, sitting over here in the airport lot near the Tampa airport. But I wanted to do another video. This one is a particular one that I wanted to check out because they just had like one of the World Cup events here in Tampa like a week or so ago. And this one is World Cup fans were not expecting this in America. So if y'all don't really know, like with the World Cup, a lot of Europeans came from there to the U.S., and a lot of them have never been here before. So their idea of the U.S. has been completely different now than what they knew of it to be before they ever came here. Because, with the news and the propaganda and all that kind of stuff, they make America look to be so horrible. But in reality, there's a lot of dope things about the U.S. There's a lot of things that's, just completely, stupid, that's going on over here now, with politics or whatever the case may be. That a lot of stuff don't make sense that people are in an uproar about, a lot of stuff going on or whatever. But for the most part, like when it comes to food, cultures, things to do, there's a lot to offer, here in the U.S., and people that have never been here are getting to experience it for the first time and seeing how we react, and how we are when it comes to sporting events, when it comes to the food and so on and so forth. Now when it comes to the food, there's good and bad with it because there's a lot of things that are in some of the foods that we have here that shouldn't be, which is one of the reasons why you have so many people here that have so many diseases like diabetes and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? High blood pressure, stuff like that. Because a lot of the stuff that you put in the food just ain't good. But nevertheless, we have a lot of good food here. You know what I'm saying? Different cultures cook different, season food different, you know what I'm saying, so on and so forth. And even when it comes to fast food chains and all this other kind of stuff, some of it's pretty doggone good. Might not be healthy, but it be good. I ain't gonna lie to you. But enough of me talking. If you made it this far, man, go ahead and hit the like and subscribe button, man. Turn your notifications on. And let's see what they talking about. Well, they jamming, ain't they?
America has become the world's greatest celebration. People from every nation, land, and tongue are gathering all across the country to enjoy soccer, fellowship, and the most amazing country on the planet. If you ever doubted America's place on the world stage, you are about to doubt no more. The World Cup has come to America, and America did not disappoint. Hey gang, it's me, Dr. Steve, your patron professor, enjoying yet another glorious day in the golden age that you made possible back in November of 2024. So if you want a front row seat on how you continue to change the world in ways you never even imagined, make sure to smack that bell and subscribe button. What an amazing week. First, we had the patriotism and pageantry of the UFC 250 on the White House lawn. Now we've got the World Cup taking place in cities all across America. And as such, millions of visitors from all over the world, Europeans, Asians, South Americans, Scots, Germans, Norwegians, Japanese, they're all flooding into the United States for the greatest sporting event on earth. And what they're finding here is absolutely blowing their minds. Many of them came expecting the America that CNN and the BBC told them about. They're finding something else entirely.
That's exactly what I was saying. You know what I'm saying? Like, the media paints us in such a bad light in the U.S. And then when people come from other countries, they get over here and they be like, what the heck was the news talking about? And then they enjoy being here. They enjoy the food. They enjoy the people. And so on and so forth. You know, they have a great time over here. And then they be like, well, what the heck is the news talking about? Because that's just how the media works. You know, they thrive off of negativity and creating bad narratives that keep other countries looking at us a certain way. You see what I'm saying? Like, it don't make no sense.
And what they're saying about it is going completely viral, and it's absolutely beautiful.
Whoa. I know you're from where you're from.
We're foreign. Well, we don't know what we're doing.
Stop with the knives.
No, you don't need a knife?
No, you pull it apart with your hand. And listen, hold up.
Bro, see, that's how you can tell when people ain't from here. Because he got a plate of ribs. It looked like either a half a slab or almost a whole slab of ribs. And he about to sit here with a knife and a fork and cut it in pieces. Like, nah, bro. You just take your hand, break them off, and bite in. You know what I'm saying? Dig in, bro. That's all you got to do. Especially if it's cooked right. Then it just pulls apart. You know what I'm saying? Like,
And you take your fingers and you lift that up and you eat it.
Okay.
Not with a fork.
Okay.
Absolutely. Okay, sorry.
Enjoy holding your food and eating it like that. That's okay.
I
to
love
do.
eating with
Okay.
hands. Okay.
All right.
Thank you so much.
Yes.
Okay.
No,
I'm sorry I let it get that far.
no. Our
that's
mistake.
fine.
Our
Yeah.
mistake completely.
We're not used to meat being soft enough to just rip it apart without a knife.
Okay.
I mean, that's not...
hey, that's another thing I've heard. There's a guy that I react to is L3WG, and I watch a lot of his videos. And one of the things that I've noticed he said, like when he watches a lot of videos about American food and so on and so forth, he talks about how when he sees people, when he reacts to people, like people from the UK and stuff like that come over here and they try barbecue and stuff like that, he talks a lot about how tender the food looks versus where he's from. A lot of times the meat ain't as tender, you know? So they're basically saying the same thing.
Not normal. Mate, cheers.
Cheers.
The best ribs in America.
Look at his face. Look at his face.
Oh.
Hey, yo. Hey, that's exactly what I'm saying. Look at his face, bro. He bit into it. He didn't even get it all the way off the bone yet. And his mouth is in absolute heaven. That's what the food does here, man. Like, it's crazy.
Gosh.
He don't know what to think.
Who could ever try Texas barbecue and not have that reaction, right? I've eaten all over the world, and there is simply nothing, literally nothing, as wonderfully succulent as good old Texas barbecue. And it's not just the food that the world is discovering, even more wonderfully, it's the people.
One thing I'm loving about the World Cup is seeing everyday American people finally get their moment in the spotlight. Seeing the way you've welcomed the Scots in Boston, the Algerian folks in Kansas, the Dutch in Texas, it's just been beautiful. Seeing all this all over my For You page and in the international press has been just honestly such a breath of fresh air. Because for once, just once, the lead story isn't intentionally divisive politics or celebrities or some manufactured rage bait on the internet. It's just everyday American people being themselves, kind, welcoming, and a little confused at our food choices. These are the real people, like the people who are actually the fabric of the country. Take the random folks I met in Tennessee. I was standing outside an Arby's thinking, what is this place? And they were like, dude, if it's a nice dinner you want, maybe don't go here. Then they pointed me to a local barbecue place and I ended up having one of the best meals of my life. That is the US I know. And I think that's what the World Cup is showing a lot of Europeans. The headlines will show you a country, but Americans will show you America.
But no.
Absolutely. You know what I'm saying? Like, the media is that's just what it is. It's just media. It's a bunch of made up propaganda to make people look bad and paint us in a bad light, you know, because that's the majority of what you see is all negative. But when you get here and you get to experience the people, it's a completely different experience, man. Like, you got bad apples everywhere you go. You got some people that just, just not good people at the end of the day. But for the most part, a lot of people are very kind. We're very nice. We don't mind helping people, man. Like, and we're just genuine good people. But if you've never been here to experience it, you'll never know it. So all you know is the bad propaganda that you see via the news that they put out there. They don't show you all the good stuff about America. They just want to show you everything bad. It's crazy.
Absolutely nothing compares to the glorious demonstrations of American patriotism.
Europeans are now seeing this in the US, the patriotism. They're even flying the eagles around the stadiums, and honestly, I don't think the Europeans can actually comprehend.
Yeah, they can't even comprehend what they're witnessing.
What's going on? This doesn't happen in European countries. This doesn't happen in the UK. How cool is that? Even just an eagle flying around a stadium.
The showmanship that Americans put on is out of this.
And so naturally, everyone visiting.
I know I saw one video that was super dope where they did one of the other country's flags, and when they flew over the stadium, there was like 5 or 6 jets, and then you had one giant plane leading, and the other ones, they all had like different color smoke that represented the flag, and they had one that was just kind of like doing these twirls around the other ones. It looked super dope when they were doing it. I don't know if they'll show it, but that was super dope.
Celebrating right along with every one of us. I mean, listen to the glory of Scots singing their national anthem.
Listen how loud it is. They having the time of their life right now.
But that's nothing compared to when Scots take over Fenway Park.
They having a ball.
But my all-time favorite's got to be the Norwegian Viking ship row. I mean, this takes the cake. The joy, the celebratory camaraderie is absolutely infectious all across the country in more ways than one. We're actually getting reports of record donations by World Cup visitors to local charities as just a way to say thank you to the community for welcoming them. And what they're learning, everything that these particularly European visitors are experiencing, everything that's blowing their minds is the product of American economic freedom. The European mind cannot comprehend this because the European economic model isn't built to produce it. So when you tax and regulate the life out of an economy, you don't get this sense of freedom and opportunity and spontaneity. And here's the statistic that tells the whole story. The average person living in America's poorest state has a higher income and greater purchasing power than the average citizen of the European Union. I'm going to let that sink in. The poorest American state beats the average European. If the UK became the 51st state, it would be 51st in GDP.
Wow.
That is American greatness on display. And the world is seeing it right now in real time. But something even greater is on display here. Something that goes beyond economic opportunity and freedom. And it's something that's bringing the world together like never before. There's a window open right now, this moment in history, that's actually never existed before. And it's not going to stay open forever. And the patriots who are already on the other side of this are not waiting for permission from the system to provide for their families. Because of AI, it has never been easier or faster to create additional income than it is right now. What used to take months, a team, a budget, years of experience, it now literally takes hours. The playing field just got leveled. And regular families, not Silicon Valley, not Wall Street, regular families are the ones who can actually win right now if they move. Now, a friend of our show and co-author of one of my books, Joseph Aaron, saw this window and he made a commitment. Every single member of his family would have their own income stream where AI does the vast majority of the work. So his 18-year-old son, his 16-year-old son, his 21-year-old daughter, even his wife, real businesses, real income built with AI. And now Joseph and his kids are opening this up. They're hosting a completely free 5-day live experience on Zoom where they're going to sit down with you and help you build out your own business with AI. Our team attended, and people were building entire income streams at the press of a button. It was astonishing. Folks who had never touched AI in their life. It was one of the most remarkable things I've witnessed. And if you're worried about the tech, don't be. If you could speak English, you can direct AI. That is literally all it takes. If you or someone in your family could use additional income or needs to replace income, this window is open right now, but it's not going to stay open forever. Click the link below and join Joseph and his family at their free upcoming event. They'll help you build an income stream where AI does the work for you. Don't let your family be the ones who found out too late. Click on that link below right now. As we've seen, the World Cup is actually one of the grandest spectacles of nationalism that the world has ever seen. There have been a number of scholars who've observed that soccer, or football as the rest of the world calls it, is uniquely effective at cultivating national identity. Fans dress in their national colors, they wave their flags, they sing their songs in their native language, they shout slogans that echo the culture and traditions of their home countries. In fact, Argentina says of its squad, we are not just a team, we are a country. And every fan that walks into one of these World Cup stadiums from Boston to Houston is bringing their whole nation with them.
As they should.
And as the host nation, America now occupies the most powerful position of all in this global pageant. Scholars have noted that through massive infrastructure and upgraded facilities and a grand national showcase, the host country has the opportunity to paint a picture to the world of tremendous growth, exciting opportunities, and a sense of deeply held nationalism. And this is precisely what's happening right now. The world is watching America. And what they're seeing is not the broken, divided, declining nation that the legacy media has been selling them for years. What they're seeing is abundance, generosity, freedom, joy, a nation that builds things that the rest of the world can only dream about, a nation where the world can gather and celebrate their cultures, customs, and traditions in fellowship and camaraderie with one another. And as such, I think we're being treated to a beautiful foretaste of the biblical vision of heaven, when all the tribes, tongues, and nations of the world are gathered together and united in love and worship. The very vision that inspired the founders of our nation. The World Cup has come to America, but even more so, America has come to the world, awakening our most glorious national expressions as we celebrate this game and this moment wonderfully together.
Well, that was that video, man. Like, I enjoyed it, you know. But that ad was just entirely too long, with the whole AI thing. It just took the video a whole nother direction after that. But yeah, man, like it was so many people. Even me doing Uber, I had a lot of people that I picked up, that were from the UK, man, and they were such good people. Some of them were super funny, and they talk, and they were just astonished about how different the culture is here. Even with the cars, like they were talking about how they've never seen so many trucks and the sizes of the trucks and stuff like that. I even picked up a couple of guys, and they were trying to look for my car because they didn't even know what a Durango was until they got in one, and they were talking about how nice it was and whatever. But I mean, they just seem like genuinely good people, man. Like, and I'm glad they were able to come over here and experience the U.S. for what it actually is, and be able to experience the people and the culture and have a good time, and actually experience it, and not just listen to what the media networks put out there for people to see, and how they paint us in such a negative light, because it's not really that. But yeah, man, like that was the video for the day. But until next time, man, make sure y'all hit the like button, subscribe button, hit the notification bell, so that way you catch all the next videos. And I will see y'all again on the next video. Till then, we out.